Welcome to the LJ Show. I'm your host, LJ, and I'm so excited to kick off this season with a very special episode. And I couldn't have thought of a better way than a Thanksgiving special. And when we get back, there's someone very special that I'm going to introduce who's very close to my heart, or should I say kidney. Stay tuned, we'll be right back. And we're back. I am so excited to introduce to you my beautiful kidney sister, Kelly. We actually met 2 years ago when I donated my kidney to her. And we have her here today, and we're going to share our story for the first time on national television, right? We have not shared our story yet in public. Right. So I'm just so happy for you to be here.
Thank you, kidney sister. I'm super excited to be here, and I'm super excited to share our story with the entire world.
Well, first of all, I just want to say how beautiful you look and how healthy you are. And I am so excited because I know when we were talking backstage, and I want to share this with our audience who's watching, we were backstage, we both said the same thing. We both felt the same way, that when I know I didn't sleep last night and you didn't sleep last night. And when I got up this morning, it was like such a big day, and people were messaging me, it's such a big day. And it brought me back to the last time I felt like this, which is when I got up to go to the hospital to donate my kidney to you, and you said you felt the same way. But there was no surgery today, right?
Absolutely not.
We're happy and we're healthy.
Right.
And it was a little interesting. We had a little pre-op with the thermometers and the consent signs, but we're all good and we're here. So I just want to really, for the audience, to hear your story. I mean, you're so young, so beautiful, and kidney disease affected you at such a young age. And I want you to be able to share your story and just tell us a little bit about leading up to the time you were diagnosed with kidney disease.
Right. So I found that I had kidney disease when I was a senior in high school. Before that, I can't say I had a normal life because I really didn't. My mother had suffered from lupus. It was getting worse over the years. So I was living with my uncle at the time. I want to say I lived a relatively healthy life. I never had any other conditions or health conditions that would affect me in any way, until that one day that I went to my doctor's and I found out that I had a really high blood pressure. And he said, you have to go to the hospital immediately, like right now. So I went, and then that was when everything just blew.
And you were like 18. You were young, you were a teenager, right? So you're dealing with your mom being ill. And so what exactly were you feeling, right? Because you're 18. I mean, I have a headache. We all get certain symptoms. What would you say was like a red flag for you?
I mean, I started feeling like very sick. I thought I was just like, I thought I wasn't eating right. I thought it was just, something going around. I didn't really think much of it until like I started noticing that my face was getting swollen, my stomach was getting swollen. That's when I was like, okay, there's definitely something going on. I started throwing up as well. So I knew that I had to see someone.
Right. So you knew your body. And so you go there, you find out what stage kidney disease were you in at that moment?
End-stage kidney disease.
End-stage. So you had to start dialysis immediately?
Immediately, right away.
Wow. And how did that affect your life? Here you are, a teenager. How did your life change? What did you go from? What was before like, and then after? How exactly did that change?
Completely. A blink of an eye, my life changed completely. I started going to dialysis, which was 3 times a week. It was 3 hours. So you would sit in a chair for 3 hours while your blood was actually getting cleaned out. My life pretty much revolved around dialysis. I had no life other than being on dialysis. I couldn't eat everything. I couldn't even drink water. I couldn't go out. I couldn't travel to see my family and other parts of the world. It took a toll on me. I really felt like the world was just attacking me in all sorts of ways.
Wow. Well, thank you for being so open about that. I know this is your first time, so I really admire you sharing all of that with us. And I'm sure there's a lot of people watching right now, whether they've been affected by kidney disease themselves or a family member. What was it like? What gave you the hope to know that there was a kidney out there waiting for you? Because for my correction, we're very rare blood types, right? So what's the waiting list? Like, how long did they tell you it might be to get a kidney?
So I was on dialysis for 7 years. I went to get enlisted here in New York the first year, and they said, give it like to about 9 to 15 years. New York has the longest waiting list.
Wow.
So, and for an O positive, you can only receive from an O positive donor. So that, like, it makes it even extremely hard to get any sort of organ.
Right. So I'm sure there were days where you're like, am I going to get the call? So what kept you going? Like, one day I'm going to get my kidney. Like, how did this affect you in that way?
I feel like I didn't say it much, but I knew it. I knew that my day would come. There was a small hope inside of me that someday I would get the call, and I did.
Wow. So it must have been so hard for you to really be like a teenager. You really couldn't do that. You had to actually grow up so fast. Now at this time, were you still working? What were you trying to do to feel or normalize your situation?
I mean, I was still going to school. I was able to finish my high school. I graduated, though I wasn't able to actually walk. I had to move into my uncle's after my mother was very sick. And I continued to work and finish my bachelor's degree.
Right. And I just want to acknowledge your uncle in the audience today. He's been your biggest support system, correct? I know your mother passed throughout all of this. It's okay. It's okay. Okay. All right. And when we come back, we're going to tell you what else Kelly got besides my kidney. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Hey, it's me, LJ. I'm only 5 feet, but my journey is huge. Right after marrying my sweetheart, my world suddenly collapsed. I endured multiple back surgeries and rare health conditions, and I saved a life in the process by donating my kidney. I hit rock bottom pretty hard, but now I'm on top. Since then, I've become a minister, a coach, and a media. And oh yeah, I also wrote a book. Now I'm fulfilling my lifelong dream and hosting my very own talk show, The LJ Show. Join me for stories of hope and inspiration.
Welcome back. I'm here with my kidney sister, Kelly, and I am so excited to share what's been happening since our kidneyversary just 2 years ago. So a lot has happened in the last 2 years, right? We've had our ups and downs, but we're here right now, and that's what's important, that we're both healthy. I mean, did you ever think from the day that you got the call that we'd be here right now on stage on national television? No, me neither. So I just want to share, I want you to share about the day that you got the call that you got a kidney. Can you take us to that day?
Absolutely. I was at work. I recognized the number, which was the New York Presbyterian's number, the hospital. And I was like, did I miss an appointment? Or did I not go to something? And that's when the coordinator said, we might have a possible donor. And I was like, what? I was like, is this serious? Is this real? I have not once received a call. The 7 years being on the list, I know many people receive calls and it doesn't actually happen. But this first time, and it was me, I got the call. And I remember telling my coworker, hold that thought. I think this is real. I think I got to go outside. Went outside, and then, she explained to me that it wasn't for sure. It wasn't locked in. I had to wait for our blood results. I had, if we were compatible. And then that was that. It started off from there. I got the call again, got the blood work done. You got your blood work as well. And we were a match.
I know. Perfect match.
Perfect.
Rare but perfect.
Yeah.
And I just want to share too, about the call that I got. I can't imagine, 7 years waiting for that call to change your life. But you also changed my life. I was dealing with nutcracker syndrome, which is a very rare disease in itself. And I'm just so grateful that New York Presbyterian said, yeah, we'll take this chance and we'll donate. But they told me, we can't guarantee that we can give your kidney, that we can donate it. And I just remember telling my doctor, I'm like, oh no, you're doing it. Whoever this person is, she's getting my kidney. And I was so curious about you, and they told me you were curious about me too. But we actually couldn't meet until the day in the hospital. And I want to share that moment because it was one of the most memorable moments in my life when I met you for the first time. So I remember rolling into surgery. Okay, rolling into surgery, and I had a full team in there, and I just knew that my kidney had to go to you. I knew that you were a young girl. I knew you were on dialysis, and I just remember this. You have to do it. And I woke up in recovery, and I was like, "Did you do it? Did it happen? Like, how are you feeling?" I'm like, "How's my recipient doing?" And I was just so happy to hear that you got it. My kidney was functioning well. What was the moment like for you when you either went into the OR, came out? What do you remember from that day?
I remember going in. I was with my uncle and a couple of family members, and it wasn't, it wasn't for sure yet. The doctor came in and said, all right, so we're going into surgery with her. We're not sure if it's going to actually come out working well. And I guess I was still, in denial or in a sense. And after she came back and she said, all right, we're good. That's when it all. I started crying. I think they gave me Benadryl too, because I was just going crazy. And then when they walked me to the surgery room, I closed my eyes and I woke up and I had your kidney.
Yeah. And probably one of the best things in my life, because I'm not having children, but I also like to say that I gave the miracle of life to you, and that's probably more than I could have ever hoped for. And I just want to talk a little bit about the day that we met, because it was weird, right? First of all, my hair was different. I had brown hair. That was the fun. But I remember, number one, breaking all the rules, because I told my nurse, I have to meet my recipient. Right. And you're downstairs, and you're like, I have to meet my donor. So my husband got us downstairs. We got the nurses to approve it, because usually you don't meet the day after surgery. And I remember him walking me into the room, and I looked at you, and I felt my soul knows this person. Like, I knew you. One, we looked so alike. Put brown hair on me, and we looked exactly alike. Right. And I just looked at you, and I remember holding your hand, and it was like, this was my purpose. This was meant to happen. This is supposed to happen. And it was one of those moments that I can't describe to people, when I looked at you and knowing that, an organ was inside of you that belonged to me. And it was just one of the most special days of my life. And I'm just so grateful I could do that for you. And how did you feel when we met for the first time?
I remember sending a picture to my uncle, and he was like, you guys look alike. And I'm like, we do, I know. And I was so anxious to meet you. And I told the nurse, I was like, I want to meet her. Like, can I meet her? And I think she called the coordinator, and the coordinator's like, yeah, you guys have to, she has to send a letter out. You guys have to send a letter out. Like, we definitely broke all the rules. We were like,
no
absolutely.
Way. We're not waiting.
I think we met the same day we requested to meet each other.
Yeah.
And I sent you the picture of my kidney.
Yeah, you sent me a sonogram of my kidney. You're like, that's your kidney working. I've never peed so much in my life. I have to say that, right? Because, correct me if I'm wrong, on dialysis, you don't urinate, you can't drink water. I mean, there's a lot of things that I never knew until that day.
Yeah, you're absolutely restricted to everything. A lot of foods have so much sodium in it, so you can't really eat it, and you have to limit absolutely everything, because you're going to be on a machine for 3 hours, and they can only take a certain amount of toxins out of your body.
Right.
So, I mean, you can't travel either. You can't really do much.
Right.
And now
you're everywhere. So I want to share a little bit about that too. I mean, we leave the hospital. We're both on a different path, right? I'm recovering from my surgery. You're recovering from yours. I know the first year for you was very, very difficult. But I do want to talk a little bit about the pros. What have you been doing since you got this kidney?
Well, I was able to visit my family in Colombia, and I was able to see my dad, which was very important to me, as you know.
How long had it been since you've seen him?
Wow, it's maybe 15 years, so it's been a while. It's 15 years, it's a great time. I started my fitness journey with my trainer, Natalie. I'm able to, go out so freely, live my life. It feels like I've never lived it this freely like I do now. And I can't wait to travel more and, visit more places, things I wasn't able to do before. And I absolutely, I eat a lot now. Everything, especially...
Yeah. Especially what?
Brownies.
Brownies, that's right. So you not only got my kidney, you got my brownie fetish, right? Unbelievable. But I've heard stories like that where a recipient does get certain things from the donor. And I know even though you got my kidney, I want rice and chicken, and now I want all this Spanish food.
Right,
yeah,
right,
exactly.
Right.
So that's funny. Before that, I never ate that. So it was actually funny how we kind of incorporated that. But you also got something else besides the kidney, the brownies. What else did you get?
I remember texting you, and I was like, I'm having these really weird dreams. And I was like, I feel like they're so real, they're vivid, and I can't explain it. I wake up and kind of hurt in a sense, because I don't know what's going on. I remember having lots of dreams with my mother at the time. and I text you and I was like, what am I feeling? Like, why am I feeling this way? Also, I remember mentioning feeling sad, like when I would look at people or like sometimes feeling what they're feeling, and it would take a toll on me, and I told you, like, I don't know what to do, like this is taking a toll on me, like mentally.
Yeah. And that's why I kind of explained to you a little bit about what an empath was. And it was interesting when you said that to me. I was like, holy cow, because my dreams all started from when I was a little girl, and I just felt so sensitive around people, and I could feel other people's emotions. So it's amazing, like having a piece of someone inside of you, what you also get, right? All these feelings. And I remember telling you, like, I think it's a special gift that you've been able to have dream visitations from Mom and be able to feel that. But I also told you to, you know, also protect your energy, because we do become so sensitive and so open. But I'm so glad to see that you had all of these, you know, characteristics. And I could speak, you know, from the heart, saying that I've seen you grow so much in 2 years, from the day that we met to now. Like, I'm looking at a woman, you know, not someone who was ill and hoping for a kidney and wanted all these things. It's like, I've seen you fulfill your life. I know we follow each other's journey and we meet every year, but to see you, you know, traveling, I know it was funny because we had like a little bit of a parallel.
Right.
Like, I was in Aruba, you were in Aruba. I went to Salem, you went to, it was funny. Like, we didn't plan that. We didn't even talk, because usually we would just have like our little catch up.
Right.
And we just were living like parallel lives. And I'm just so happy to see you doing so well. And I just want to, you know, ask, I'm sure a lot of people out here too, if there was something that you could say to people right now, Kelly, as far as maybe someone is on dialysis, a loved one is ill, dealing with chronic kidney disease, maybe to that 18-year-old self that was you many years ago, what would you say to them?
You're a warrior, and you're going to make it. Trust me, you're going to make it. You are.
And you made it, and I know that this is just the beginning for you. I know you have big plans. I know you want to go back to grad school. You got a promotion at work, and you're just going to keep rising. So I'm just so proud of you. And is there anything else? I know you wanted to share a few words, if there's anything that you
I'd like to give a quick thanks to the people in the audience, which probably you're not going to be able to see, but my best friend, my uncle, and my fitness trainer, who is now a very close friend of mine. Thank you for being here. It means so much to me. And I feel like there are no words that can explain the gratitude that I feel towards you. I wake up every day living how I do because of you. And you have changed my life in so many ways. And you know I'm not that good at expressing it, obviously. I can't. I have no words. I honestly wish you could feel what I feel at this moment.
I do.
I'm immensely grateful for everything that you've done for me. Thank you for giving me another chance at life. It means everything.
And I want to say thank you for giving me a second chance at life, because my nutcracker syndrome was cured. A life was saved. And since our story, we've raised so much awareness, and more people are donating, and lives are being saved. And I just want to let you know, if I could do it again, I would. Thank you for being here today. We're going to take a short break, and when we get back, we're going to do an Ask LJ segment.
Hey, it's me, LJ. I'm only 5 feet, but my journey is huge. Right after marrying my sweetheart, my world suddenly collapsed. I endured multiple back surgeries and rare health conditions, and I saved a life in the process by donating my kidney. I hit rock bottom pretty hard, but now I'm on top. Since then, I've become a minister, a coach, and a medium. And oh yeah, I also wrote a book. Now I'm fulfilling my lifelong dream and hosting my very own talk show, The LJ Show. Join me for stories of hope and inspiration.
Welcome back, everybody. It's time for Ask LJ. A few audience members wanted to ask me some questions, and here we go. So the first question that I'm going to choose is, this is a good one. What keeps you going when you are at your lowest? I think this is a great question, because I know many of us can relate to some difficult days, difficult people, difficult situations. So when I'm feeling at my lowest, what I like to do is take a step back and really ground myself. And how do I do that? I try and stay inspired. I like to, personally, I listen to something inspiring the first 20 to 30 minutes of my day from what I've heard, and it actually works. How you set your tone in the morning is what sets the tone for the rest of the day. So definitely staying off, getting off on a good foot. And also taking baths 3 times a week, listening to your favorite song, going for a drive. Sometimes we're always focused on what we need to do next, but maybe just being in the moment and just staying present, staying hopeful, reading something positive, communicating with your family and friends, and knowing that you are never alone. We're all always going through something. And I always like to say, today may be a bad day, but the best is yet to come. And I'm going to choose one more question from the audience. This is interesting. As a medium or psychic, are you able to see your own future? Wow. So I can answer this in 2 different ways. So one, I think when I'm trying to see things into the future, I'm going to be honest, sometimes I'm like, am I seeing what I want to see? You know, I want to see all the good things. I want to see everything unfold. But sometimes it's hard. I do see when things are coming around people around me. But when it's for myself, I feel that it's a little bit more personal or a little bit more, I don't like, it's too close. So I want to say, can I? Yes. Do I choose to? Not always. And I'm also human. So I also just like to see what the future is going to bring and have some unexpectations. So I like to stay excited and be in the present moment. So the answer to that is yes and no. Now it's time for a giveaway with LJ time. And I'm very excited because everybody is going home with something today. So we have a few surprises, but I would really like to thank, especially since it's a Thanksgiving episode, I want to give thanks to the Enlightened Colonist to Go. My dear friend Andrea has donated to everybody here today, is going home with 5 dinners cooked by her, all gluten-free, dairy-free, healthy, and everybody's going home with 5 dinners. So you're not leaving hungry. I'm an Italian person. No one leaves hungry. And now I'm ready for our next giveaway, which is beautiful basket with all Thanksgiving stuff. And you got your platter and your towel and some biscotti. So I'm very excited to give this giveaway out. And here we go. 022-6049. Congratulations. So I want to thank those who gave us these beautiful giveaways. We're going to be doing this every week. And if you're in the live audience, you have a chance to win something special each time. We're going to take a short break and we'll be right back.
Hey, it's me, LJ. I'm only 5 feet, but my journey is huge. Right after marrying my sweetheart, my world suddenly collapsed. I endured multiple back surgeries and rare health conditions, and I saved a life in the process by donating my kidney. I hit rock bottom pretty hard, but now I'm on top. Since then, I've become a minister, a coach, and a medium. And oh yeah, I also wrote a book. Now I'm fulfilling my lifelong dream and hosting my very own talk show, The LJ Show. Join me for stories of hope and inspiration.
Welcome back, everybody. Now it's a moment that we're all waiting for, something that everybody loves at all of my events, which is very special. When I'm not being a warrior, a kidney donor, a minister, a personal trainer, I actually am a medium. And today I'm going to be giving a message to the live audience. So I'm going to start with a gentleman that's stepping forward. He shows me that he would have had a beard. I do feel that he would have had, they show me oxygen, which is my symbol for having trouble breathing as well. So I do feel that I want to go to the heart or the lungs connected to him. I also feel that he was either a firefighter or he wants to acknowledge the firefighter. He wants to acknowledge someone who would have been in the fire department. Could also be volunteer. I just want to show that because he's also showing me a fire hydrant. So I do know that this would have been very connected to a firefighter. Can anyone understand this so far? Hi, how are you? Is it okay? May I continue?
Yes, you may.
Okay, so I do feel this man coming through, and you understand everything that I've said so far, the heart, the lungs, and the connection to the fire department. Okay, so he comes through very loving. I also feel I'm not sure if he would have had a cough or there were just lungs, but I do feel that I would have had some congestion in my chest area. So he does make me feel like I need to clear my throat. Okay, I also feel we may have had some things come up because I also feel lots of tissues around him as well. Okay, I do feel him to be loving, but I also feel like he was very funny because he makes me feel like a huge light around him. I just keep feeling like he was a light in many people's lives. I know that he was a light in your life just because I want to draw a heart around you. When I'm drawing a heart around you, I know that we would have had a very close relationship to this person. He does make me feel he would have been hospitalized or we would have had a couple of trips back and forth to the hospital. Would you understand this?
Yes, but he never came out of the hospital.
Okay, so that's where he would have passed, but he would have had a couple of trips before then.
No.
Oh, okay, but he passes in the hospital.
Yes.
Okay, no problem. And I also feel, why do I keep seeing a connection to Italian food? I keep smelling sauce, I keep smelling pizza, I keep smelling pasta. This man's hungry. He's like, I never went hungry, but definitely giving me that.
Yeah, that's,
Does that make sense? You could just say yes.
yes.
Okay, perfect. And I also feel connections to 1111 or the number 11 being significant.
I'm not sure on that one.
Okay, so birthday, passing, or anniversary connected to the number 11. If it's not 11, I would go with November.
The time he went into the hospital.
That's around the time he went to the hospital. Okay, wonderful. And I also just keep feeling, though, that he makes me feel he went to the hospital. I feel, was pretty sudden or pretty quick? Yes? Okay. Because I do feel, though, we're not with him when he passes, and he just wants me to make you feel, too, that it is okay. He makes me feel like he had other people in the hospital, but someone did not make it to see him or to say goodbye.
Not sure.
He's making me feel someone was long distance, or someone did not make the distance to get there.
I'm not sure on that.
Okay. And he makes me feel, though, he's like a fatherly figure.
Correct.
Okay. Because I just keep feeling love to all my children. This is the feeling he keeps giving me. Love to all my children. Now, was he also a smoker?
Earlier in his life, he had quit.
Okay. He had quit also. Okay. But I also feel I have to acknowledge who's the person here that he wants to quit. I feel it's one of his children that also needs to quit smoking.
Really?
So I'm just bringing that up.
That would be me.
Okay, well, he wants you to quit smoking, okay? I just keep feeling, I'm glad that he quit earlier, but I just feel like take care of yourself as well. But I also just, again, keep hearing to all of my children, so I know that we have more children. And then I also feel I want to acknowledge a son. Would this be a son or like someone in the spirit world with him as well?
That would be his son, my brother.
Okay, because I just feel like I want to acknowledge, I see his arm around him. I just want to acknowledge him coming back together. Now, would there be something in the month of October that's significant? I feel like I got to go back a few weeks.
My brother's birthday.
Birthday? Perfect. I just want to acknowledge the birthday and just know that they were also celebrating together in the spirit world. Okay, so I just want to come through. He's looking out after you, and I feel like, no, no, no. Get that cigarette out your mouth. So I'm going to leave him with you with love and blessings, okay? Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us on this special Thanksgiving episode. I am so grateful that Kelly was here to join us today and we could share our story with you. As you can see, organ donation is life-changing. So if you or someone you know is in need, please consider being an organ donor by visiting your local DMV and getting that little heart on your license, because we definitely needed our lives saved. And I want to give a special thank you to those that are blood donors too, as I have needed blood transfusions in the past and I couldn't have survived without you. And with that being said, I just want to give a special thank you to all the essential workers, doctors, and nurses for what you do, especially during these unprecedented times. So thank you. Stay grateful, stay healthy, stay safe. Until next time, I'll see you. I'm LJ the Medium, your host.